Aurora Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of The Antipodeans, written by Greg Mcgee, and read by Genevieve Swallow and Paul Haley. The moral right of the author has been asserted. This performance is owned by Aurora. Venice, 2014. Chapter 1. He'd insisted they take a boat, an Alla Laguna, so that her first view of Venice would be from the water. She'd asked whether that was wise. There was a low drizzle floating out of the early dusk at Marco Polo Airport, and he was already shivering as they walked to the jetty. "Drizzle's good," he'd said, hauling on his suitcase. She'd offered to pull it for him, told him she could easily do both, but he wouldn't have it. Now he was labouring as they arrived at a short gangway leading down off the jetty. "You'll feel the ghosts of the place." That seemed so unlike him. "Ghosts, Dad?" He didn't answer. Perhaps he hadn't heard her. He'd always been selectively deaf, even when he was well. It had been one of the things that had driven her mother mad. As the boat bus droned along the channel, leaving a white wake trailing in the brown water and falling darkness, they passed a couple of islets with scruffy trees hiding all but the roof lines of industrial garages. There were boats on cradles having their bums wiped. It could have been one of the less attractive indentations of the Auckland isthmus, lacking only mudflats and mangroves. He refused to sit. That didn't surprise her. The osteoarthritis in his knees had given him pain throughout the long flight. He stayed on his feet, hands gripping the rail, staring out across the barely ruffled water. "Shallow," he said. "Treacherous." He pointed towards some lights out to the left, barely visible through the gloom. "Franco and I used to fish off Murano." She saw his hands were shaking. Big hands, more so recently as the flesh withered on his frame. Hands that looked as if they'd crutched lambs or milked cows or pruned vines. They mostly lied, those hands. He'd been brought up on a farm, but had spent his working life as a solicitor, a self-styled paper-pushing all-rounder who did conveyancing, corporate, trusts, estates, and matrimonial property, in which he was not pleased to be currently acting for his only child. She wished it wasn't such an unholy mess. It was hard to say whether it had taken a toll on him. He wasn't a man who allowed emotion to leak, but she'd resolved before coming with him not to let her pain show. He was pointing to a cluster of lights on the other side, told her it was Mestra, the mainland city, then looked puzzled. "There used to be huge gas flares and light towers over there." He addressed a question to the pilot.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?